The plan to send Patriot missile systems to help Ukraine defend itself against Russia has been a longtime request of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Though U.S. officials have not publicly announced the decision, the move drew a strong warning from Russia Thursday.
We strongly advise those who make decisions in Washington to finally listen, perhaps not to us, but to themselves, and draw the right conclusion from our repeated warnings that any weapon systems supplied to Ukraine, including the Patriot, along with personnel servicing them, are and will remain legitimate priority goals for the Russian armed forces.
The Pentagon has not yet announced the transfer, but said Thursday Russia's comments would not affect the decision-making process.
The U.S. is not at war with Russia, and we do not seek conflict. Our focus is on providing Ukraine with the security assistance that it needs to defend itself.
The report comes as Ukraine faces another heavy round of Russian shelling, and the United Nations warns of a hard winter ahead.
Missile strikes on civilian infrastructure, including energy facilities and hydroelectric power stations, are exposing millions of civilians, especially persons in situations of vulnerability, to extreme hardship during the winter months.
Ukrainian military officials say that is key to Russia's strategy.
The Kremlin realizes that in short-term perspective, it is impossible to achieve victory in the war, thus seeking to turn the conflict into a prolonged armed confrontation aimed at exhaustion of Ukraine and our partners.
Russian President Vladimir Putin claimed Thursday that Western sanctions had caused Russia's GDP to drop by only 2.5%.
By imposing sanctions, Western countries try to push Russia to the periphery of world development, but we will never take the route of self-isolation.
Russia could be accused of war crimes in Ukraine, according to a draft resolution circulating at the UN. U.S. lawmakers have struggled to pass a similar resolution in Congress.
A country that's committed genocide. But for some reason, we're having trouble with that. The Senate has passed it, and it may be we passed their resolution. I don't understand the problems in the House. I've been trying every day to get that resolved, but so far, no success.
Lawmakers are closer to finalizing a deal for another round of military and humanitarian aid to Ukraine. President Joe Biden asked Congress last month for an additional $37 billion.
So a Patriot system is welcome, and I think the ongoing commitment there is there. We've sent 2 of the most recent systems, air defense systems, with 6 more committed. These are going to take time. That's areas of concern. This, ultimately, if not a diplomatic solution, is a war of attrition that could last years.
U.S. lawmakers could pass that new round of funding as early as next week. Katherine Gypson, VOA News, Washington.